Tito is managing Christine Santos right now. Christine Cyborg. Yeah, you think it's gonna make it difficult for you guys?
No, Tito's working really hard on her career. I could tell he's fucking running around doing his own shit. He already fucked her career up.
Any chance you might be interested in her, or you just don't want to talk with him and as a manager?
Yeah, I'm gonna call the fucking buffoon on the phone and you imagine, seriously, you imagine trying to do fucking business with that buffoon? He's a fucking buffoon. Try to have an educated conversation with him. It's not possible. You can't have an intelligent conversation with him. I could go to the fucking zoo. Okay? Go over to the fucking monkey cage and have a better interaction, you know, a more intelligent interaction with the monkeys at the zoo than the buffoon. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you pay any attention on the Russian guys who perform in the Bellator? Or
No.
You don't watch, you don't have no idea?
Nobody's watching.
Well, I was just curious, you know, because it seems that they have much more talent because, I mean, for whatever reasons. Are you interested in bringing more Russian
Well,
guys?
if somebody watches it, let me know and tell me how they look.
Do you think there is something that keeps Russian guys with great Sambo background or any other disciplines to come in the UFC just because, I don't know, financial situation or whatever reason can be?
Say that again?
Do you think, what do you think is the problem for Russian or post-USSR fighters come out and perform in UFC? Do you think it's more the financial issue or do you see it in some different
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't even know how to answer that question.
Dana, you mentioned you're going to go in the Mayweather Canelo with the co-main event, and they're obviously trying to stack. Golden Boy's doing more of a propensity on their big events to stack their cards. You know, you and Oscar was in Boston. Have you guys talked about whether or not the UFC has influenced, you know, Golden Boy to be able to make sure that it's more of a, you know, main card?
It's one of the things I respect about Oscar. He says it publicly. He says that we have, and that, you know, and that night when he was at the fight, he was like, "This is unbelievable," you know. And
do you think we're going to see some UFC influence in like their production value and things along those lines?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. He seems to get it. You know, the hard part is it's in boxing. Listen, there's one way. You know how you do it. You know how you make all this and do what you do? You spend money. You spend a shitload of money, which is what a lot of boxing guys don't like to do. So you throw a ring in there, you get a fucking lighting grid, you know, you make a big deal with the two main event guys, and then you throw a bunch of guys on the undercard because nobody shows up anyway. You know what I mean? To do what we have done here, you spend a lot of money. And that's why you've seen a lot of guys that have come out and competed or whatever they were doing, coming out and getting into the business. They blow through $25-30 million like that. And once you get to those kind of numbers, it's fucking scary. Like, do we really want to stay in this business? And who's to say it's going to turn around for us? And who's, you know, and that's what we did. You know, we stayed in this thing till we got to 44 million. And I always talk about that number. If you had 44 million to invest, you started with 80 something. You got taxed on that money, and then you had, you know, understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and it starts to get scary. So.
Do you think the issues is why we've seen Elite XC Affliction, we can just reel them off. Now Bellator, I mean, there are some good shows of theirs, but I mean, already Spike is shifting. Their nights are going to Friday nights. Their reality show got shifted to 11 on Thursdays, which that's a rough time slot in there, 11 p.m. So I mean, it seems like they're already switching things, and they've been in their deal for 8 months.
Here's the stupid thing about the way that it happened. You know, their television network, a television network that made a decision because they lost the UFC. They didn't lose it, they fucking gave it away. Basically didn't want it anymore. And I told you this before. That pompous Philippe Dumont said, "We built this thing, we'll do it again." He really fucking believed, you know. He didn't even know we were on our air for 2 years, but he built this thing. You know, so they made a knee-jerk decision to get into this thing with, you know, you got guys over there. You really think they're passionate about this? No, it fucking worked for them. This thing worked on their air. Like, all right, fucking these guys paid for it. They put up the money. They didn't even want it. You really break this thing down and think about it. They didn't want the fucking UFC on their channel. We paid for it. It worked. So then, yeah, they kept it. They kept it, and it kept working, and it did great things for them. It's not like they were fucking passionate about it. They helped build the fucking sport like they made it sound in the beginning, and, you know, we did this and we did that. Fucking flipped a switch and put us on the air. We fucking built it. And we did what we did. And I guarantee you, they realize it now.
You can't predict the future. I mean, you guys still have 6 years on the Fox deal, but do you see the UFC really ever trying to leave Fox, whether it's 6 years left and extending the deal? Do you see the UFC being on Fox?
I fucking love Fox, man. I love it. I hope we're here for 100 years. I love it.
I mean, you mentioned the Wednesday situation.
I'm not a very good negotiator. I'm not a very good poker player. We'll see what happens when the rights come up, and we'll talk to, you know. I fucking love Fox, man. They're the greatest guys to be with. They're committed to building the sport. You see it. I mean, you see it in what they do. They throw us in the NFL. They put us in Major League Baseball. They spend money. They launch the network with us. I've been in the TV business for a long time. These are the guys.
Is there a chance that the fight nights like this one can shift off of Wednesdays, let's say in February or March, when you don't have college football that's going to go on Saturday nights?
Yeah, I don't think that it's really, you know, they put us there because of that. They put us on Wednesday night because they were looking for something, you know, they were looking for something strong that they thought could deliver on a Wednesday night. And just so you guys know, I know the whole tone tonight was like, oh, Wednesday night is going to be a challenge and this and that. Challenge selling tickets.
Right.
Wednesday night, first of all, Saturday night's the worst night on television. You know that, right? Does everybody know that? It's the worst fucking night on TV. Hot levels are the lowest, which is houses using televisions, are the lowest on Saturday. And your 18 to 34-year-old demo is out the door. They're gone, right? Wednesday night is an amazing night. That's when the Ultimate Fighter used to run. You know, Wednesday night is a great night to be on TV. Yes, there's a ton of competition on Wednesday nights, but let me tell you, live sports is where it's at. On Wednesday night, the UFC is live. If your other show is on, you can tape it at the same time. You can DVR it, watch it, and zip through all the commercials. You can watch that show in fucking 20 minutes. You know what I mean, or 40 minutes, depending on how long the show is.
You basically have to balance, you know, getting good gates on Saturdays and getting maybe better TV ratings on Wednesdays. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. So it's the live gate is the one thing that's going to be the challenge, and we'll figure that out.
5,000 on a Wednesday night, that's not bad, I don't think.
It's fucking awesome. We did $350,000 tonight at the gate.
On a Wednesday night.
Not bad at all. It's fucking great. And what the hell was I going to say? 350 on Wednesday night, and
I mean, the first prelim started before most people got off work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Dana Conner, he tweeted yesterday that he wants to be back in 9 months. I don't know how close you've been talking to him. I know you went to see the doctor,
yep.
George St. Pierre.
He's getting the surgery.
Realistic time frame?
It's today.
Is it
tomorrow?
It's Thursday.
He's getting the surgery tomorrow.
Thursday?
Yep.
Does that sound like a realistic time frame?
Yeah, that could be right.
So speaking of knees, any Dominic Cruz update?
I have none. No, I haven't talked to him or anything.
Is it kind of a matter of you guys can just leave it alone because you're going to have whoever comes out of the round one fight?
No, he talked to us. I think I told you guys this already. First of the year. Yeah. Next year.
We've heard time frames before, and then they get pushed back and pushed back.
I don't think it'll get pushed back again.
And then you guys are okay, just then he'll come back and he'll unify the belt. Is that good for him? He's going to be out for 2.5 years minimum.
No, none of this is good for him. I feel sorry for that kid, you know. Don't forget, he was supposed to fight Uriah as the champion on the Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen card, which he gets a piece of pay-per-view. That was his fucking lottery ticket. I feel so sorry for that kid.
The last time he fought was in Versus. That should tell you how long it's been. So he hasn't even had the chance to benefit on this. Besides being on TV, he's been on the pure.
You're right. No, you're right. Yeah, he's at a bum rap, man. And if he, I'm just hoping he's going to be ready by the beginning of the year because he can't go on any longer. You know what I mean?
But as
We've been really, really good about it.
if he's champion, you can't give him a tune-up fight, right?
No, he doesn't want a tune-up fight either. He wants to come out and fight the best. It's the way that kid's built.
Speaking of Uriah, do you match him and McDonald up to break up that logjam at number 2 and number 3?
I don't know.
It'd be a hell of a fight.
I agree. It'd be a great fight. Yeah.
Jenna, talking about the Russia. Sorry, I'm just coming back, just thinking about this. You know how here you do all the pay-per-views and everything else. Do you have the idea that in Russia you can actually look all this for free, watch it all for free? Does this ever come to your mind? Do you ever think about it?
That you could watch what for free?
The pay-per-view cards. That in Russia we don't pay for it. We just
Steal
do
it?
pirate stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being honest about it.
I
It is
got
what
it,
it
I
is.
got
It's
it.
the same like, I'm going to Best Buy to buy Microsoft Word here. Back home I get it for free just because I download it from internet.
Right.
So, does this ever, I mean, going into the new market, like you said, you're playing in with Lorenzo Traveling.
Russia is a tricky market. Very tricky market. And we gotta figure it out. And that's what we're doing. That's why we're going there.
But what about, I brought you up. Did you thought about it, or did you have a thought in your mind, or have you ever?
Yeah, no, we've definitely thought about it. Obviously we're going there because Russia is, we're trying to figure out how to work in that market, yeah.
And you were talking a lot about investing money in UFC. When was the year when it's kind of the coin turns around and you start
Making money?
making money?
I think we started making money in 2006 or 2007.
And do you think what was the first, the most important things that turned things around?
The Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter worked. If the Ultimate Fighter didn't work, that would have been it. Would have been over.
There were many questions about Russia tonight, so I gotta ask about Poland. Do you pay any attention to Poland? And there's a pay-per-view there. TV stations have good rankings and good viewership.
Yep.
There are two big organizations, and everyone is waiting for UFC.
Yeah.
And everyone is willing to pay. They pay for a local show.
I told you guys, man, when it happened, Gary Cook is the man. He's the guy who's over there running, Europe and other parts of the world for us. He's smart. He gets it, and he's figuring all this shit out. Guy's a stud. A lot of people in England were complaining about the BT deal. The BT deal is the best thing that could have happened to us in England. These guys actually are spending money. There's people dedicated to working on the UFC. They don't want this thing to fail. That's what you got to have. I don't want to be on some fucking time-shifted 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't even care half the time. It doesn't start on time. And, we did that so that we could just keep, the fans over there happy. We could keep it on TV so the people who were watching over there could watch it at 3 in the morning. This new deal we have is awesome. This thing's going to be great for us, and he's working on Poland and other places too. But he's the guy you want to talk to. He's the man with the plan. He's got everything.
Do you stack that up with like Polish American fighters like Seth Brzezinski, guys like that?
Yeah, Ivan Putski. Definitely. Everybody knew Ivan Putski, man. I like it. I like it. Good?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming, man.